Good evening, everyone. Sunday evening satsang with John and Michelle.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome. We love having the community with us on a Sunday night. I think this is really important work we're doing, and that it centers us for the new week ahead. And at the same time, it sends love into the field and presence into the field. And I think what the world needs more than anything else at the moment is love and presence. So welcome.
Absolutely. Welcome. And we have a beautiful full moon tomorrow morning. So this is a lovely night to do this.
It's almost like full moon now, is it?
Yeah, it's kind of full moon now because it comes exact at sort of mid-morning, 11 o'clock.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it's just about full.
So
if you look outside,
moon.
You'll see it's full.
Yeah, excellent. And tonight Michelle's going to give us a little bit of an update on that full moon. That's always interesting to hear.
Yeah.
And I think we've got some interesting energies ahead of us, don't we?
We do.
Very interesting energies ahead of us.
Yeah.
So fasten your seatbelt. Those who get our newsletters, mine particularly, my last two, I mentioned that phrase, fasten your seatbelts, because I think we're in for an exciting ride, as the old Chinese curse, may you live in interesting times. And we're definitely going through that at the moment.
No lie.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
We signed up for it, I guess. So
Yep,
here we are.
Here we are, yeah. So tonight we're going to be looking at truth and trust, and that's, I think, a very pertinent topic to look at given these times that we're going through. What is truth and what is trust, and how can we know? How can we know that they're there, and how can we work with them?
Absolutely.
So that's what we're going to be looking at tonight, yes. So thank you for joining us. Thank you all. We love doing this work it's not even work. we love being with you on a Sunday night. Yeah. So welcome. And if you could help us out by liking and sharing. So press the like button and
really
press the
helps.
share button. It really does get the information out there. We find that Facebook has throttled us back tremendously. I think the word awakening and freedom, those are two words that
don't go down well in these
don't go
days.
down. So, but by liking and sharing particularly, that does get this out there. So if you can do that, really appreciate it. And we love getting all your hearts. And let us know where you are tuning in from. We love to know, who we're talking to. And if you have any questions, please give them to us. We don't answer them while we're live because we're doing it from my cell phone, and we can't really. Well, I can't see them. I can't really read them too well, so we can't type them out. But we'll get to them afterwards. We always respond to everyone after the satsang's finished. So if you have any questions, queries, or comments, please, we love getting them. So do that. Press the like and the share button, and send us lots of hearts. Thank you for all the hearts we're receiving.
Yeah,
right
they
now.
all come up on our screen. It's quite
Thank you. Yeah,
thanks,
we all love love, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We all need love. We all want love. We all want love.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Right, so let's start as we always do by bringing our awareness back into reality. And you must say, well, what do you mean back into reality? I thought my thoughts were real. Well, your thoughts are real, but there's something even more real than your thoughts, and that is presence. So let's start this evening by anchoring our awareness into what is true, and that is the present moment. So maybe gently shut your eyes if you can do that. It's always good because it just brings your awareness into focus in the present moment. So just gently close your eyes and settle back into your chair. If you've got a backrest, please lean back into your backrest. Make yourselves fully comfortable. The backrest of the chair can represent life, and so in this moment just settle back into life, settle down into your body and back into the present moment, and feel the backrest of the chair symbolizing life, supporting you right now in this moment. Just feel it holding you. Feel your feet on the floor if they are on the floor. Become aware of your hands gently resting in your lap, not crossed but gently resting. And with your eyelids gently closed, take a deep breath in, pushing your belly button right the way out, blowing a big tummy out. And then a beautiful long releasing, relaxing, letting go, breath out. Let it go. Let's try that again. Another deep breath in, pushing your stomach right the way out, pulling your diaphragm down, getting the air right down into the bottom reach of your lungs. And then an out-breath that's twice as long as your in-breath. Just let it all go. Just release it and let it all go. Let it all go. Let's try that a third time. Deep breath in, below your diaphragm, pulling your diaphragm down, taking the air now. Imagine it going right down to your toes, filling your legs up. So you're really pulling the air down, up into your shoulders as well. And then that long, relaxing, releasing breath out. Just let it all go. Let it all go. Let it all go. Beautiful. And now just allow life to breathe you. This incredible intelligence called life that was here long before your body. It'll be here long after your body. It animates your body. It breathes you. It beats your heart. Digests your food. It functions in the liver, the spleen, the kidneys. Functions in your ears, your eyes, repairs every cell in your body. It looks after the health of the brain, grows your fingernails and your hair. This energy called life is more than capable of breathing you if we get out of the way. So for a moment, just hand over the breath to life and allow life to breathe you. With no doing, no forcing, no trying, no need. We let go and we completely surrender. We withdraw our mind from all other times and all other places and just become centered in your body here and now. The body is such a wonderful tool of presence. No matter where we are in our day-to-day living, no matter the external circumstances, we can always find refuge in the body by coming back into and down into the body. We align with life, we align with presence, because the body is always here in the present moment. It's only our mind, only our thoughts which distract us with time. And time has a certain function, yes, but most of the day we don't need time. And so we can drop our awareness into the body, we can feel our fingertips, we can feel the tinglingness in our palms of our hands, we can feel our feet. Right now we can feel the chair under our bums and the backrest supporting your body. Being aware of the in-breath and the out-breath, but without actually forcing it or controlling it in any way at all. Just rest your awareness maybe in the tip of your nose and feel the in-breath and the out-breath and the change in temperature between the out-breath and the in-breath and the in-breath and the out-breath. Noticing that pause between the two. Just gently rest your awareness in the awareness of the breath. And as you do this, as you allow life to breathe you, become aware of the sounds in your room. Become aware of any hum of a computer, maybe the rustle of the outside wind on the leaves of a tree, maybe the sound of traffic, or maybe there's a dog barking in the distance, maybe the sound of human voices, but listen very carefully and just see what you can hear right now. And listen very, very carefully to the faintest, furthest sound you can hear right now. And notice how quiet you become as you listen. This faculty of listening with stillness within you is such a powerful tool at transforming your lives. Whether it's at work or in relationships, if you truly listen from this place of stillness within you, everything changes. You become more alert, more intelligent, and you access a much higher level of intelligence which can guide you and lead you. This intelligence can orchestrate and change the situations, circumstances, and even people around you if you choose to. Drop your resistance to life, to the present, by becoming still and quiet inside you as you listen. Feel what it feels like to listen from a place of stillness. Feels peaceful, calm, quiet, contented. And this place of quietness and stillness is a place you can trust. As you rest your awareness more and more often in this place, so you can trust life more and more and more to lead you, to guide you in a more truthful way than your mind can ever guide you. This place of stillness has no needs, has no wants, has no desires, doesn't need to understand anything, has no need for time, and no need to understand past. Just rest your awareness gently in the present moment, as it is right now, knowing that this place is home, this place of peace, of stillness, of listening, is your true essence, your true beingness. And to come back to this place over and over again during the day. So take a deep breath in now, blowing your tummy up like a big ball. And that long sigh it out, let it go, let it go, let it go. And gently, when you're ready, you may open your eyes. And as you open your eyes, once again, just become aware of how you feel in this moment, because you need to honor that. You need to become aware of that. Beautiful. Thank you.
John. It was
Thank
lovely.
you. Thank you.
So calming, hey? So reassuring. It was really beautiful.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody. And for those of you who have just joined us, we're delighted to be here again. And if you haven't let us know where you're from, please do. Tonight we're just going to be chatting about some of the energies that are around. We have a great big fat full moon tomorrow, which happens to be a lunar eclipse, which basically means that it's more powerful than normal. So every month we have a full moon, and then a couple of times a year we enter into an eclipse season. So this is the beginning of an eclipse season, and it's really kind of part of the whole year's energy, because it feels like we're pushing through a birth canal, if you like, as a kind of an energy. So this month the theme is basically truth, which we're going to be dealing with in our space group. This month we have a group that we've started, a community
Platform,
support
an online platform, yeah.
And each month we deal with a different theme, but we really go into it on a deep level. We have 2 Zoom calls a month, we have journal questions, we have meditations, all focusing on a theme. So this month our theme is truth, and we thought we'd just touch on it tonight as well, because it's a really big word right now. What is the truth? I mean, whatever we thought the truth was before, maybe not. So where do we find the truth?
Dear word apocalypse, which we've spoken about several times before. The word apocalypse means for the veil to come down.
Yeah.
For that which is hidden to be revealed. And I think so much is coming out now.
Yeah.
I mean, that curtain is really dropping, and so much is coming into the foreground now, which a year ago you'd be called mad if you spoke about, but it's so obvious now.
Yeah, the fog is clearing.
The fog is clearing, apocalypse.
Yeah, so today we basically had Neptune, which is a planet that's associated with deep spirituality, actually, and trust, and true truth, which is our connection to the divine. But for the last few months, he's been going retrograde. And when that happens, and also when he turns again, I'm calling it a he, it's a planet. When it turns again, it's sort of, we feel its energy more acutely. And so yesterday at station, today it started turning direct. And usually we feel the energy more strongly. So what that sort of suggests to me, hopefully, is that the mist starts to clear a little bit. And that this month really is about exposing truth and getting it out there. And obviously that relates to ourselves as well. So looking at where we aren't telling the truth, where we find the truth. Do we believe the truths that are told to us from other people? Or where do we find that truth? So Neptune's moved direct, and hopefully that's going to clear some of the mist and some of the fog and some of the confusion that's been going on for the last while, for ourselves personally and also globally, collectively. So there's that. And then very, very closely aligned with this full moon, and the full moon's in Gemini, which means that it's opposite the sun in Sagittarius. And the sun in Sagittarius really wants to find the truth, wants to find higher meaning, wants a direction to shoot his arrows in. Gemini, which is where the moon is very much about information coming at us, what people tell us, what we tell ourselves. So really this is kind of a polarity between what's the information that's coming at you and what's true for you. And it's really just seeing what is true and what's not true. And I think that this has probably never been more important with this planet, the way what we're in, is for us to find that truth and live from that place, because otherwise it's a little bit insane. So I think over the next week we really need to just drop into that place of kind of knowingness. And this is the first of a few eclipses. So the next one will be mid-month, and that's going to be the beginning of a very, very big alignment in the skies, which maybe you've heard of. It's not just astrological, it's kind of a planetary alignment. It's a galactic alignment. And what a lot of people are saying there is that there'll be a big event. I never like to predict specific events, but there is definitely a planetary and astrological shift on the 21st of December, where two of our major planets move out of Capricorn into a new sign together, and they will be at the same degree together on the same day. And that's a big move as energetically. So it's sort of moving into more awareness, more consciousness, hopefully, and maybe more truth. I think there could also be a lot more riots and stuff like that, and a lot more protests against the status quo, and I think that's going to carry on for a long time. So I think that we need to really find solace and our own sense of peace within us, and I think it's never been more vital, actually.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of astrology. I did do a blog, so if you haven't seen it, you can check my page, and it's there. It's a video on the whole thing.
And your pages?
It's Michelle McCloonan. Yeah, so
yeah.
It's there,
yeah.
And you can watch the video if you want a little bit more detail.
So just regarding this time that we're moving through, putting your seatbelt on is a very good idea. And what is that seatbelt? What is that?
Yeah.
And we said before, this year is about creating your, developing and strengthening your inner muscle, your spiritual muscle, the resilience that you have, the ability to deal with change and uncertainty. It's a very important year for that. And Michelle said earlier that she doesn't do too much predictive astrology. But last year she went around the country doing talks on pretty much what we've gone through this year, and it was called Navigating with the Winds of Change. And she said, well, from January 2020 we're going to start experiencing some major storms, some major winds of change, and she wasn't wrong. And she, part of that is that the big structures that have ruled the planet will start crumbling in a certain way. So that's definitely part of the world that we're living in now. But out of that crumbling, something new can be born. We have to die in order for something new to be born. So that's really a process that we're going through. And I'm sure it's all affecting us one way or the other in our personal lives.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's going through something.
Find relationships, careers, bank accounts, they're all in a state of uncertainty for a lot of people.
And flux, yeah.
Flux, and that is good in that we learn to trust something deeper than that. You see, when our dream is very comfortable, when our dream is very stable, when our dream is meeting all our physical, personality, egoic needs, there's no need to look for anywhere else. But the moment the world out there, the dream, becomes uncertain and turns into a bit of a nightmare, then there's a greater incentive for us to say, hey, there's got to be a better way.
Yeah.
And that better way is to wake up. And that's really the gift that we're going through now. First of all, it is a year of dealing with all those unconscious patterns within us that we thought we'd dealt with, but we hadn't fully dealt with. So the old issues have been coming to the surface to be dealt with so that we can bring the light of awareness and acceptance to them. Not understanding, that's not that important, but it's the light of acceptance, because acceptance is love. So we're bringing love into those old recesses in our mind, those situations that we thought we'd buried, but they've come back this year. So that's part of our healing process this year. And it's to find our roots in something deeper than our dream, deeper than our story, deeper than our retirement annuity, deeper than our relationships, deeper than our careers. It's to find something beyond that. And so tonight we're talking on truth and trust. And there's two sort of planes of reference when we look at that subject. The one plane is the horizontal plane, and those of you who haven't seen the map of consciousness that I have on YouTube, it's under the matrix. If you just Google John Homewood Matrix, and you can have a look at that. It's a very helpful map of reality. We have a horizontal plane of time. You're born and you live your so-called life, and then you die, and it's ruled by false evidence appearing real, in that I am what I do, I am what I have, and I am what other people think of me, and I'm always racing to the future to find my fulfillment and my happiness. And that is the sort of normal way of living our lives. And as we race along this road to get to the future, there's a little narrow empty spot in the middle here, where someone's removed the manhole cover, and there's an emptiness here. And we quickly jump over that. The satsang's not that interesting tonight. There must be something better on TV. Let me get over there. So we're always trying to get to the future. And that's how most people live their lives. They run on this timeline trying to get somewhere. And I don't know where they're in such a hurry to get to. But anyway, that's a sort of normal way of living your life. Always concerned about the future, always wanting to know about the future, always looking to the future to bring them love, joy and peace and happiness and security. But normal is mad, just to let you know. It is completely insane. It is, I think that way of living our lives has brought us to the edge of complete destruction of our species. So if we don't change that way of seeing reality, I don't think the human race has many two more years left on this planet. So the other way of living your life is in the vertical plane. And that's, so we have the horizontal plane, and then we have the vertical plane which intersects that. Now, this is the new awareness that's awakening on Earth right now. This is like the caterpillar has been crawling along here, always chasing the leaves on the branch, and then suddenly there's a process of real alignment, and then there's this new emerging of a new consciousness, and that enables freedom and flight. So that's a very different level of awareness than running along the timeline trying to get to the future. And the vertical plane is where you will find truth. And it's where you will find the deeper essence of what trust is really about. You see, the horizontal plane is a plane of things. And everything has a beginning, it has a birth, it has a period of existence, and then it has a death. There is no thing that does not obey that particular law of time. Born, has a short experience, and then it dies. And when we talk about trust on the horizontal plane, what we're saying is we trust that horizontal plane is not going to let us down.
Yeah, we trust a person. We say, I trusted you, and you let me down.
Yeah.
So now I don't trust. Or you trusted that business venture to work out, or you trusted that person to be honest, or you trusted the government, or whatever you trusted. And then that leads to suffering, because ultimately that's all going to dissolve anyway. So, and you can't really put your trust in anything specific.
No.
Like that.
No.
Well, you can. You can put your trust in.
But you will suffer.
But you will be disappointed, and you probably will suffer, because it's always going to be moving and changing, and probably not to our specifications.
Yeah. Sometimes, we can sort of predict the future a little bit, and it works out our way, and we think, we've got it nailed. And then 5 minutes down the road, suddenly, the wheels fall off. It doesn't quite work out the way we thought it was. So trusting the horizontal plane is to meet your needs, to meet your real needs, because that's what it is. Trusting for your real needs to be met in the horizontal plane is mad, is insane, and will always lead to disillusionment and Buddha said, to suffering. And that's what happens because you're chasing an illusion. What you're really looking for is not to be found in the world of the matrix, not to be found in time. It's to be found in something deeper.
Yeah, and the chasing after it is just, it's exhausting, and it doesn't really get you anywhere. So this is kind of the change of consciousness that's actually happening right now. And for me, it's a repetitive process, because our thoughts are so conditioned to going into the future and to going into the past and to living between those two, that it's actually a minute by minute, moment by moment process to actually realize, I've gone into there, let me bring it back. Because this moment I can trust in. This moment I can find truth, and I do find truth in this moment, because I'm completely aligned, and my mind isn't getting in the way. It's not, I haven't got 16 roommates telling me different stories in my head. I've only got one. It's a completely different way of living. And the more that I am able to actually train it back, and it is training. It's like a muscle, don't you think?
Yeah.
It's like when you're training for a marathon. I mean, you don't sit on your bed. You go out there and you train. This is a training. And for me, with what's ahead of us and what we're going through now and what's ahead of us, we need to train for this. And that's why I think all of us, in our own unique way, can actually help other people to do that, which is why we have community, which is why we do this work. It's not just a one-off Sunday thing. It's so that you can actually do that yourself, and other people will pick up that you're doing that. And that's how the awareness grows. That's how consciousness grows. So it grows, it starts with each one of us actually bringing ourselves into alignment, into awareness, into consciousness, which is our true nature. But we forget that.
Yeah. And you said there, it's our thoughts, thoughts going into the future and our thoughts going into the past. So truth and trust are not to be found in the world of the thoughts. That horizontal plane, it's all about thoughts. 60,000 thoughts a day. I counted them one day when I was bored. And truth and trust is not to be found in your thoughts. It's to be found in reality. And reality is that, remember I said about the road and having someone stolen the manhole cover? That emptiness in the middle, which is always here and always now, is presence. Presence is emptiness. Empty of what? Empty of thoughts. And truth and trust comes from entering that emptiness. Now, it's very scary for the mind to do that, because the mind fears emptiness. It loves fullness and doingnesses and busynesses and problems and challenges and worries. But in fact, the present moment doesn't have any of that. And it's to surrender and come into the present moment. And when you drop down into this vertical plane that we're speaking about, this presence, or it's called the now, in that state, it's a state of which we experienced earlier on when we started this evening. It's that state of listening. It's a receptive state of quietness. When you enter that quietness, that peace, which is your true being, because the vertical plane is being, the horizontal plane is doing. When you drop into this vertical plane, you connect with life. Because life is only ever here and now. Life is in the vertical plane. And as you drop into the vertical plane and align with life, you start to trust that. You start to trust life. Not your thoughts, not your doingness, but your beingness. And as you start to be led by your beingness, so you find everything changes. You start to live your life fully aligned with life, and that is trust. Trust is to be fully aligned with presence. And that is where you find truth. You find truth in the space between your thoughts, not your thoughts. Your thoughts are always about something. But what are they about? Well, when you come into the present moment, you align with reality. And truth is to be found in reality, not a story, because every thought you have is a manipulated thought. It's a programmed thought, and you will never find truth there. When you come into that narrow space between your thoughts, Albert Einstein called it the sacred gift. He said there's a sacred gift within each one of us. And that is when we leave. He called the rational time-based mind a servant. He said that's a servant. And he said we've created a whole society that honors the servant, and we've forgotten the gift. And the gift is your sacred essence of presence. In the sacred essence of stillness, which is your true beingness, you will find the knowingness which will guide you.
Yeah.
It will always guide you. And it doesn't guide you with thoughts, with words. It guides you with an inner knowingness. And how to tell the difference between your thinking mind and this inner intuitive awareness is, well, your thinking mind will be continually in a state of fear, because fear is the acronym which I use, false evidence appearing real. I am what I do, I am what I have, and I am what other people think of me. That's the horizontal plane of time. Where in the vertical plane, there is no time. There is presence. And presence and peace go hand in hand. So when this awareness of what to do next comes enveloped in an awareness of peace, you know that's the one to follow. There's no anxiety.
Intuitive knowing is not questioned. It's just a knowing.
It's an isness.
It's a knowing. It's something that comes to you. It arises, and it's a knowingness. And that's for me. That's truth. That's what we can trust. But to do that, we have to go into the place of presence. And my question is often, when there's a void, it's that no-thingness place, which is what people avoid. Avoid the void.
They do.
Because, when you say to somebody, who are you? Well, I'm a person, I'm a this, my name's Michelle, I do this, I do that, I've achieved this, I've gone here, I've been there, I've triumphed over that. But what if you took all that away? Then who are you? And actually, it means that you're actually a no thing, which means you're nothing, which is kind of like an insult.
It definitely
it's
is
probably,
an insult
if you say to somebody, you're a nothing, it's like, how can you call me a nothing? But actually, so for me, that's often possibly the reason why people don't go there, because there's almost a fear of losing this sense of self.
Sense of thingness.
What people believe is the sense of self. I am the things that I own. I align myself with that. So this is what I do for a living. So therefore, this is what I am. And if that had to go, then who would I be?
Right.
So it's those kind of really penetrating questions. Yes, who would you be without that? Because at some point that might disappear. Good chance it will at some point.
It will.
If there's a person in your life, there's a good chance that person's going to disappear. That job's going to disappear. That pet's going to disappear. That house is going to disappear, or it's going to change. So it's to look at those questions before. And to do that inquiry, which is really what John and my work is about, is to enter into that dialogue and enter into that inquiry so that you can see where the fears are.
And so there's a prior question which we need to ask ourselves before we can go to where truth and trust lies. And that question is very fundamental, and it's a question which people very rarely ask in any deep way, and that's the question of, who are you? Not who you think you are, not your name on your birth certificate, or the car you drive, or the house you have, or the relationships you have, or the career you have, but who are you really? And the way to answer that is, what has never changed? What has never changed? Because who you're not is the world of change, the world of form, the world of things, the world which is born and dies. That you're not. How do I know that? Well, if you look at all the things that you've had in your life, they've all come and they've all gone, and you're still here. Even your body, your 6-year-old body died a long time ago. Your 10-year-old body died as well, and you're still here. Your beliefs come and your beliefs go. Every thingness that arises in your awareness disappears, and yet you are still here. So this is a very fundamental question: who are you? And as you discover that, not as an understanding and not as a mental concept, as you start to know yourself, know thyself, then you start to understand, or start to realize is the better word, start to realize what is truth and what is to be trusted. Your true beingness is to be trusted, and truth comes through that beingness, through the knowing of your beingness. One of the analogies that I use is if I was a smoker and I blew a smoke ring here, and we could all look at it and admire it and see, wow, it's so real, we could walk around it, but if we leant on it, it would let us down. And that's the world of things.
Yeah.
And so you can't find security, you can't find love, you can't find anything of any real eternal value in the world of form, because it will let you down. Because it's always information. It's always coming and always going.
And most of us do believe that we are going to find that in form. I mean, at a fundamental level, that thing's going to make me happy, and that person's going to make me take all my problems away. And then when it doesn't happen, then the suffering happens. So it's just to know that. And you can only really get there when you've done that enough that you can't bear it anymore.
Yeah.
When you've suffered enough and you're actually prepared to let that go, because it's a story.
And say there is a better way. Only when you say there is a better way, and you'll only say that there must be a better way when your old way doesn't work anymore, when you've suffered enough, and then you'll say there is a better way.
Yeah, and I think with the uncertainty that faces us, and it always has, but it does seem more severe this year. The uncertainty, literally, across the globe.
In the matrix. Yeah.
In the matrix. If we get caught up with that uncertainty and try to project into it the future, so even try to see the future is very difficult, because we don't know what it's going to look like. So it's sort of, as John said just now, it pushes you into another paradigm, into another perspective. It's kind of pushing us to do that. I don't want to use the word force, but it kind of is. You don't have to. I mean, you can choose to live in that matrix, but it's getting very, very difficult.
And it's going to get more difficult and more challenging. So really, at the moment, we have the horizontal plane, which is that fear-based awareness of most. I mean, that's normal. I mean, most people live their lives from fear. They go to work from fear. They stay in relationships from fear. They eat from fear, they exercise from fear, and that's sort of considered normal. And then the vertical plane is love, and I believe that trust and truth is to be found in love, not in your thoughts about love, not in your expectations about love, not in love should bring me and ought to. No. Love is a state of presence, which is a state of absolute allowing and acceptance. And in love, in that love, not the love of the mind, but in the love of truth, of presence, that's where we find security, that's where we find peace, that's where we find joy, and that we can trust. But that isn't something for your mind to understand. You can't understand what I just said. That's something to be directly experienced. And what blocks us from experiencing love, this love that I'm speaking about, is the judgmental mind.
Yeah, it's the mind.
And so, the work that we do on our courses, and I know quite a few are working with us on our Journey to Freedom courses, and we have this new platform, Inner Space. It's about peeling away all that blocks you from this love that cannot be understood with the mind, the love that passes all human understanding, the love of the heart, not the love of attachment. Very, very different.
Yeah, and that it then becomes a choice of stepping out of it. When you step out of it, it's like you're stepping out of it, and you know that you're stepping out of it because it's not comfortable. And then you have a choice to actually step back. It's the awareness that, I've stepped out of it and I'm feeling really anxious or really fearful, and I can bring myself back. Those are the tools we need, because we really are going to need them going forward, and we need them now.
Yeah.
So that's really what we're wanting to and are sort of helping with, is to actually make that into, it's a complete shift in the way we see things.
It is.
And it's a perceptive shift.
Yeah.
It's a shift in perspective. It's so, you know, you can be looking at the same thing, but if John's looking at it and I'm looking at it, we're seeing a different thing.
Yeah.
So to change our viewpoint, so that which you've always held to be true, and I mean that could be a political view, it could be a conditioned view that your family hold, you know, a religious view,
yeah.
or a view of a gender. You know, men should do this, women should do that. A belief that, you know, about money. Money doesn't go on trees, or, you know, those kinds of things, those beliefs that have been passed down, that we've been conditioned to believe.
Yeah.
It's to actually sort of say, are those beliefs still mine? That those ones that I'm hanging on to so dearly, and are they valid? And just because I used to believe that, do I still believe that? Is it still true? And it takes courage to question your beliefs, because they're like cherished little jewels sometimes, you know. I'll always believe that, I'll never not believe that. Maybe that's changing.
Yeah.
You know, well, it is changing all
because
the time.
a belief is a thing. It
It's
was
a thing.
born, it was a time when it wasn't believed, and
Yeah.
now it is believed, and then because it was born in time, that belief will go as well. And if you're attached to a belief, when it crumbles, then we suffer. There's a problem there. Now, I believe that this process of alignment with life, with this place that you can trust, the place of truth, where all truth is known, that's a gradual process for most people. Some people get it just like that, but for most people, it's a process almost like a flowering of a flower. This petal has to unfold in order for this petal to come out. So this process of flowering is facilitated through the work that we do, and many other teachers at the moment. And we have a course called Journey to Freedom, and right now, tonight, you can sign up for it, and we have a foundation week at the moment, which is completely free, no charge at all. And tomorrow night we have a Zoom meetup, and we're going to discuss some of the foundations to this process of freedom. What is awakening? What is freedom? So you're welcome to join there. Just go on to journeysofawakening.com, and you can sign up there for that. And we have a Zoom call tomorrow night on that 1.5 hour Zoom call where we discuss some of these in a deeper way.
Yeah, we really are, sorry John, we really are entering into probably the biggest shift of our lifetime. Yeah. We've been going through it this year, and for a few years, this year it's come to a head. And what's happening, or what's going to be happening in the next month, astrologically, which means energetically, because we're all connected to all that is, so we feel the energy. That's basically how it works. It's not any more mysterious than that. There is a massive shift in perspective. There is a massive awakening happening on our planet. Now, we can't necessarily see that if we look around at the chaos, but it is happening, and it's our responsibility to make that shift. So whatever you do in the next month or 2 or 3 or year, just know that it's our choice to actually shift our reality. And if the more we shift our reality, the more the reality around us starts to shift, because we're all connected. And so whatever we put into the field changes the field. And so that is our power. I think, and we sometimes don't realize how strong that power is. We have personal power to shift the universe, the world, because every single thought we put out, every single action we do, changes the field. It ripples out and never stops rippling. Once that, it's like throwing a stone in a pond. Those ripples just go on and they keep going. So it's just to know that we have got power even when we feel like we haven't. Because a lot of this year has been about feeling very disempowered.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't got the power to control what's going on with whatever agendas are going on necessarily in the physical sense, but we actually have got power to change it from a much higher perspective.
Yeah, and that's really the difference between love and fear.
Yeah.
See, fear is about disconnection, it's about disempowerment. And if you just look, for example, at the media, what is the media focused on continually? Well, it has been forever, but even more so right now, and that's fear. That's on separation, on you've got no power. And that's a false perception. And that's one way of seeing the world. I've got no power. And it's all fearful. We must separate and protect ourselves.
Make yourself smaller.
Make yourself smaller, yeah. And hide your magnificence. And that's the so-called normal, insane way of living our lives. And that has come to an end. If we don't shift now, I think there will be a huge amount of insanity on the planet, more so than ever. The other way is in the vertical plane in love. And that's really the choice we get. At the moment, and what Michelle was mentioning there, love is about connection.
Yeah.
Who you really are is connected. You are the field of presence,
Yeah.
the field of life. It's who you are. And that is love. Love is the recognition of that truth, of that deep truth of interconnectivity of all of life. And that is our power. Fear is about disempowerment. Love is about empowerment, the power of love, not force. Fear uses force. Love uses power. And that is a fundamental choice which we each make because we have free will. We can choose the old world, the world of fear, or we can use our will to choose a new dimension. But in order to choose the vertical plane, one has to be willing to let go of the old world which we have been programmed to believe we are. We are our history and we are our future. We have to be willing to do that. And as Michelle mentioned, we have to be willing to become the nothingness, which is presence. And trust that emptiness, that nothingness. That's scary for the mind. It's scary for the ego. Scary for the personality. But in fact, if you are willing to let go of all that you've been clinging to for so long, you will find that all that you were seeking is already here.
Yeah.
The new world is already born. Just not born in the old perspective, in the old way of seeing the world. And that's really the shift which we're making at the moment. And it's a profound shift. Because as we shift individually, so we shift the collective at the same time, because we add our energy to the new energy that's being birthed at the moment.
Yeah, and the energy that's being birthed, which is happening over the next few years, is one from the density of the physical form to more of an energetic form. So, I mean, for many years they've been talking about the age of Aquarius. If you watched Hair, this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. It takes a while for an age to actually click in. But it is actually happening. And the age of Aquarius is very multidimensional. But it is actually, part of that is that we're moving into more of an energetic age, where we're going to realize more and more over the next years and centuries even, that we are energetic and that there's great power in that.
Yeah.
And that it's not about form.
Yeah.
And that this body here and this is illusion.
Yeah.
It's all energy. It's all moving energy. And if we really get that, that's when things shift.
And we don't need things outside of us to inform us. We don't need leaders. I mean, that's a big one.
Yeah.
You've been brought up to believe, there's someone who knows more than me. They've got to lead me. We don't need leaders. I mean, that's just such a big shift in awareness. Life will lead you. Love will lead you.
Yeah.
Presence will lead you. You don't need some other human being who pretends that they know, or they've convinced you that they know more than you about where you need to be going. That is the old paradigm of belief. And that old paradigm of belief, I've said, is fear, and that is predicated on underlying belief, which is that I am this physical form, and this physical form is in danger of dying. And it's the fundamental belief in death that keeps people attached to the old paradigm. And through that belief in death, you are manipulated and controlled. You are timeless, awareness, presence. That cannot die. Your body will die, your possessions will go, but you, the real essence of who and what you are eternal. As you know that, and that's why that fundamental question of who am I, as you start to discover that, not intellectually, this is not about intellectual, this is about a knowingness in your awareness which no one can take you away. As you start to experience that real essence of who you are, the fear of death and the inability to then be controlled is gone. It's beautiful. You can't be controlled anymore. Yeah.
And it's a beautiful question to ask yourself in meditation, that question.
Yeah.
I ask myself that when I do meditate every day.
Yeah.
I say, who am I?
Yeah.
And it goes deeper and deeper every single time you ask it.
Yeah.
Who am I?
Who am I?
Yeah. And you'll have a knowingness that just arises. It's not a head thing.
Yeah.
Once you've gone through all the things that you think you are.
Yeah. Letting go of who you think you are in order to
start
find
to
out
actually see
who you are.
really are.
Yeah. So can we ask you to take us into a meditation?
Yes.
Visualization. Would you like that?
I'm going to do a little bit of a full moon meditation. It's a little bit before full moon. Did I say new moon?
No, full moon. A few hours before full moon.
Yes, a few hours before full moon, but it's bright and full. So
yeah, so tonight is actually the energy.
So tonight's the energy.
Yeah.
So just get yourself comfy, settle in, close your eyes, and just relax. Take a few slow, deep breaths, in and out. Just on each out breath, just release that which you don't need to carry at this moment. Just leave it behind. Just become aware and comfortable with the space around you. Be aware of your whole body. Feel your whole body, where it's sitting. Feel the position of your hands, where they're resting. And just for the next few moments, just let go of the busy mind. And now bring into your awareness a beautiful full moon. That gorgeous luminescent orb that appears to be full once a month. It's a feminine energy, the moon. Powerful white silver. Imagine that beautiful full moon is above your head. And draw that silver white energy down through the top of your head. Allow your entire being to become soaked by this pure, serene, feminine energy. This loving, almost like a mother of pearl energy. Imagine if the moon could pour her love down on us. As she pours her light down on us, just continue to inhale and exhale. And as you do that, relax your whole body. Relax your face. Relax your jaw. Let the muscles around your mouth soften. Let your ears soften. Those little tiny muscles around your eyes. Smooth out the frown marks in your forehead. Let that beautiful light of the moon make its way all the way down through your neck, relaxing your neck, into your shoulders, dropping your shoulders, softening them, just letting it all go, letting all your cares go, all your worries, all your fears. Bring that beautiful silvery mother of pearl light down through each arm, into each hand. And get a sense of that energy as it rests in your hands. You might even feel the energy as you focus on your hands. You might feel it as a slight tingle. And then bring this beautiful mother pearl energy down through your torso, front and back. So it washes through all your organs, your tissues, your bones. Clearing out, clearing a space, nurturing, nourishing. All the way down through your hips and pelvis, down into your legs, into your knees. Let that beautiful mother of pearl energy circulate around those knees, down into the shins, into the ankles, into the feet, and down into the earth beneath you. That you're fully connected to the sky and to the earth. Now just feel a sense of what you're feeling in your body right now. If there's anybody, any place in your body that feels stiff or sore or uncomfortable, breathe that beautiful moon energy into that part of your body and relax it. So breathe right into that area and just completely relax it as much as you can. And now take your attention to your heart. And slowly start to reflect on what it is that you would like to let go of on this full moon. Full moons are always very, very powerful times to release that which we don't need, to release negative thoughts, to release negative energy, to release whatever it is that pulls us back from manifesting our dreams and our truth. So just reflect as you just focus on your heart. Reflect and say whatever you like to release. So you could just say to yourself, whatever it is, I release you, whatever that is, under the light of the sacred full moon. I no longer need that which does not serve or empower me. And then send that, whatever it is, up into the new moon, into the full moon, into the light. Just send it up. Imagine it just leaving you and going all the way up into the moon and dissipating. Old habits, old behaviors, old pain, old limitations, old restrictions, old thought patterns, disappearing into the full and powerful gleam of the moon. And now say to yourself, I release any unworthiness. And breathe it out, exhale it out. Breathe in, and on the out breath, I release any doubt. Breathing in, and on the out breath, I release fear and anger. Sending all of it up to the moon. Breathing in. On the out breath, I release judgment. Breathing in. As you exhale, I release envy and comparison. Breathing in. I release anything that does not serve me. Anything else that you want to release. Just say the words to yourself and send it up. Imagine each of those things being released from your life, getting absorbed by the light of the full moon. And feel more light inside yourself. Now breathe into your heart, as if you could actually breathe into your heart, and you could expand your beautiful heart. And say the words, I open to the new. I'm ready. I'm ready to open to the new. I'm ready to love, to truly love. To truly live in alignment with my truth. I allow myself to trust. Just open your heart. And just know that you are very, very loved in every moment. And you are very, very supported in every moment. Now just bring gentle awareness back to your breath. Take a lovely slow breath in and out. And another beautiful breath in and a releasing breath out. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes.
Beautiful. We're all a bit lighter. We've let go of all that no longer serves us. That's wonderful. Lovely.
Good.
Don't you feel a bit lighter now? A bit more cleaner, a bit more refreshed for the week ahead? Great. We got an affirmation card for you.
You're going to pull one.
My turn to pull one. So this is your affirmation for the week ahead. Let's go for a blue, shall we? Oh, here we go. I let go of emotional resistance and allow life to flow as it is. Isn't that beautiful? I let go of emotional resistance and allow life to flow as it is. So we'll post that up on the Facebook page when we finish this evening, and that's your affirmation for the week ahead. I'm sure it's going to be helpful for you as we go through this next week. It's a releasing, it's a surrendering energy.
Absolutely.
So thank you for being with us tonight. Those of you who want to join us for tomorrow night's Zoom, it's an hour and a half Zoom meeting tomorrow night, completely free. You've got to register at journeysofawakening.com. We look forward to having you there with us. Otherwise, we'll see you next week on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Have a beautiful week further, a safe one, and
Thanks, everybody.
present one. Thank you.
Lots of love.
Yeah, love you. Thank you.
Bye.
Night to night.